Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm just some American girl that moved to Germany a long time ago. A few years ago, I found out I had a tumor in my head. Since it's been taken out, I've had some issues. There's lots of other videos on my channel about this. But today, we're going to go over week 2. Week 2 for me at this German rehabilitation facility. I'll go through day by day, telling you what my schedule was, what therapies I did, and at the end of the week, specifically the end of the video, I'll sum it all up with my thoughts. Let's get into it, shall we? This is what my schedule for Monday looked like. Pay no attention to the blonde Gene Simmons. Those are just some of my facial exercises. Let's get into it. It's Monday, pagans. Just get out of the shower. Right, so my first appointment was speech therapy. The following therapy conversation is intended for mature audiences only. At my last speech therapy class, I was given this handy dandy sheet here. It's got a lot of things that I'm to practice in front of the mirror a couple times each night, and I've been doing them. But today I had a fine gentleman who, after a basic conversation of just going over what I've done, the sort of facial exercises I've been practicing and whatnot, what difficulties I currently have. After a short conversation like that, this guy said something to the effect of, "Let me grab the vibrator and the icicle." I'm thinking, like, dude hasn't even bought me dinner. But so I turned and faced a mirror, and he ran this little mini massager. You know what I'm talking about. A little mini massager up and down over the various muscle areas. And then I would look in the mirror, and he would be behind me. And for example, if the goal was raise my eyebrows. So I'd be sitting there looking in the mirror, trying really hard. But at the same time, he's back here and helping pull up so that they move together at the same time. And then release. And we did various exercises like this, like raise the eyebrows, scrunch up the nose, try to put my mouth into a circle. And then he would take this icicle. He just froze some water in like a test tube and had like a lollipop stick in it. And with that, he would go over the afflicted area, and then again in the mirror, and again with him helping. I would try to make specific faces, and he would like guide it. But I'm not gonna lie, that mini massager vibrator felt really good on my face. So when I get home, I have to go buy one of those, for facial exercises. But for real, I am shocked. I am noticing improvement in my face. A lot more than I have seen in over the last 3 years. Any improvement I've had over the last 3 years, including being able to close my eye, has been very subtle and takes a really long time. So quite often any changes I had here, other people noticed them before me. But more importantly for me, I feel like I'm starting to get my smile back. You have to understand, right after my operation, all this was hanging, and I couldn't close my eye. That took about 6 months. Anyway, I don't want to get off track. So we're making great progress in speech therapy. The next appointment I can only call typical German paperwork. This gentleman was working on the doctor's paperwork that will go back to my, we would say in English, GP, or in German we would say Hausarzt. Just all the paperwork that talks about my condition, my issues, the reason I'm unable to work without falling on my butt. Paperwork. After that, I had Entspannung, relaxation time. The lady spoke with a very soothing voice, basically telling us as we're relaxing there with our eyes closed, like, you make a fist, hold it feel it with your arm, and then release it. And again, I just have to say I envy the people this stuff works for. attention deficit Armstrong. I'm really just trying to get through those sessions. I mean, I am trying to relax, but honestly, I am more relaxed an hour later when that's over and I go out into the forest and I find a spot and lay down. And that's no offense to the lady that does it or the therapy in and of itself. It's just not for me. And then the last therapy of the day was Gangsicherheit. This is very interesting to me too. I recently made a video where I was practicing some balance exercises. I was doing some balance training. And after watching that, and after my last session of this feeling secure while walking therapy, this woman made a very good point. I need to try to walk more with my head up and my shoulders back and my arms at my side. I definitely rely on too much of watching my feet when I walk, which is resulting in me being like hunchback and watching my feet. But this is tricky. Like when I'm walking with my head looking straight forward, I feel like a bobblehead. And my feet, instead of like walking, they feel a little bit more like I'm kind of flopping the foot. And I'm paying attention to it, and I think I'm getting better, and I have to take my time. But I have to really concentrate on, if I'm head up, looking forward, I have to really concentrate that my foot is hitting the ground right and like going ankle to front or, you know, normal walking. I feel like I look really stiff doing it, but I've been really consciously trying to do it now for a few days. So I'm walking around a little bit more like this. I feel like I can stay straighter though when I'm staring down at my feet. But yeah, week number 2, off to a good start. I am beyond impressed with the things that I am learning from balance training and also the things I'm learning in the speech therapy. I'm going to continue these facial exercises, and I think I am going to make a video where I talk about my facial paralysis and maybe just go over some of this training I've been doing. I like to call it my stupid face training because I make stupid faces when I do it. Anyway, that was Monday. So this is what Tuesday's schedule looked like. My first class today was called Mundmotorik, and it was all about making those funny faces again. But this time I sat in a room with, I want to say, 6 other people. We all had a variety of issues, but all of us had some part of our face that wasn't working for one reason or another. The lady that led the class sat down there, and then basically we started with like tap, tap, tap the nerves, tap the nerves around the eyebrow, and then try to raise both eyebrows together, release. And then around the eye, around the mouth, around the nose, try to scrunch it. But the important thing was we were tap, 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 tapping, trying to wake up and activate those nerves and muscles. I'm finding this stuff very helpful and very interesting. And I am noticing, I said it before, finally now after 3 years since my tumor was removed from my head, I can feel parts coming back. I mean, I still have numb areas around here. I still have numb areas on the back of my head. But it's definitely mixed now. After the operation, this was a big numb mess. I learned, the nerves in the face, they only grow like a millimeter a year. These are very slow growing nerves. So my hope now is that, they're all finally healed. And what they're training me here is I'm kind of like teaching the nerves to work right again. Like, wake up, this is how you move. Really interesting. Second appointment of the day was again this Gangsicherheit. Just practicing walking and feeling secure at it. But I didn't do too much today because I'm having one of my bad days, I would call it. Like, if I would have been home and not at this rehabilitation clinic, This definitely would be, unfortunately, one of the days that I spend a majority of the day in bed. Like my head feels full, pressure, even weird kind of slight pains. And gravity feels like it's pulling me down. Everything feels hard. And like zombie tired. I just don't understand it. But I went to that therapy. I attempted it, told the lady how I felt. And about halfway through, she said, don't torture yourself. Just go back to your room and rest. And that's just what I did. My last appointment of today was Entspannung, this relaxation session stuff. And it was again, we're laying in those chairs, those big comfy chairs. She puts the lights out. And it was again with the make the fist and feel the fist and then release the fist and feel your body releasing and relaxing. This time, once again, the seemingly sweet therapist, like she seems nice and competent. I don't want to insult the human in what she does. But this is the second time that they felt this was a good idea to do this in a room where about, I don't know, I think between 6 and 8 people sitting in a circle, breathing heavy, like I hear snoring sometimes, and they don't want to open a window or put on a fan. Alright, as I've already stated, I'm having one of my bad days. I'm not feeling so great. And as I've stated in other videos, I also have a difficult time personally with this. Let's go into a deep relaxation state in 15 minutes. It just doesn't work for me. Honestly, I'm thinking I don't want to go back to this. I think it's just not for me. I know my body, and I also know I'm giving myself beautiful relaxation time at least once a day, going out and laying in this beautiful park, or finding a nice spot to sit in the woods. I feel peace in those moments. I mean, like real relaxation. And this with no air circulation and sharing the same air, and it's like a sauna temperature. I'm over it. But I feel like I attempted it, and maybe I'll go again because I'm still hoping Tai Chi comes. Yes, that was pretty much it. That was Tuesday. I still feel like I got a metal helmet on or someone has a vice on my head. Pressure. I'm gonna grab some dinner soon and then I'm going to sleep. See you on Wednesday. Folks, this is what Wednesday looked like. I had 1, 2, 3 appointments. Let's get into it. Right, so my first appointment today was called Bewegung and Wahrnehmen. I want to translate this as movement and perception. Quite honestly, it felt like a group therapy session. About 5 of us sitting in a room. The lady that led the class, first we did this thing where she kind of like threw this ball to someone and you introduced yourself and you said how you were doing. The next thing she did was she kind of like tapped on some bongos. And we were to like slowly get up and move to it as we wished. Unfortunately for me, the movement of getting up and going down combined with this tap, 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 tap. With all my issues, it didn't feel so great, but I did it. I think it's a good idea. I heard a lot of other patients vent frustrations that I could relate with. So I think it's a good therapy just to let the people talk about how they're doing. The next appointment was Gangsicherheit. Again, a therapy to make me feel safe while walking. Unfortunately, much like yesterday, I'm not having a great day. I feel like my head is really full, kind of headachy, my dizziness a little worse. But that was something I brought up to the lady doing the, walking securely therapy. And we talked about just how much balance training I have been doing, not just in the last week, but also in the last 3 years. And I think she said something really wise. Sometimes less is more. I might have been overdoing it. To overdo it definitely fits my personality. I am exhausted. Last appointment, cranio sacrio voodoo, as I call it. This time I had a lady, and she didn't just concentrate on my head. She sort of started with my feet and moved very slowly up felt like adjusting my body. And I would describe more of what she did up in my head region today a little bit more like a massage, because there was also like lifting of my forehead. It felt lovely. I forgot to mention I also had Entspannung. I did go. The lady that ran the class today left the windows open. I kind of decided privately that if I walked in that room again and it was as hot as a sauna and the windows shut, I was going to walk out. But this time, a very sweet lady led the class, left the windows open, which was so nice. Because I'm feeling not so great today, it was a little easier for me to lay there and be still and kind of fall into it. She didn't do that thing again where we're supposed to like make a fist and release it. She just talked to us in a very mellow, relaxing fashion. And I have to say, she was good at it. Like, that lady should make audio tapes. Nonetheless, I'm back in my room and feeling like I need to go back in bed. I already took one nap today. Tomorrow is another day. I'm gonna rest up and we'll meet back and see how Thursday goes. Alright, this is what Thursday looked like. Let's get into it. So the first appointment of today was Entspannung, relaxation. Once again back in the comfy chairs. And a lady with a very sweet and mellow voice helped us envision we were going out to sea in a warm ocean. Long story short, at the end of that therapy, I spoke to the lady and I expressed this isn't for me. I told her no offense, I just have a hard time doing this. She totally understood. I asked if we were ever going to try Tai Chi because they mentioned it. And she said she would look into it. And if it was possible, she would schedule it for me. But she did also throw out the comment that one has to have a little balance to be able to do it. I still want to try. Second appointment of today, I met with the Oberarzt, the top doctor. It was not the same doctor as I met last Thursday. This guy seemed fantastic. He listened to me. I told him how thankful I am and how wonderful his therapists are. I told him about improvements that I personally see and that I can't say thank you enough for the therapies. And I told him how my whole body is in pain right now. My head is feeling heavy and full, and my vertigo is being a dick. It would seem I had been kind of overdoing it and pushing myself. So really sweet was I expressed how I was feeling, and it would seem the people I did the therapies with must have noted this as well. I tried everything that was thrown at me. But yeah, wonderful is, he said they're going to adjust my schedule, more easy stuff, concentrating more on relaxation, massage. Appointment after that was Gong Sicherheit. We kept it very basic and easy, which I was very appreciative of. Just some basic balance exercises, even some while sitting, like sitting on a puffy cushion and trying to like use my butt muscles to straighten myself out. That was silly and kind of fun. And we did some walking around, and I spoke with the lady about those walking sticks, as so many of you have mentioned. And I do think when I'm out of here, I'm gonna try to find myself a cheap pair. She recommended the ones that are, what's it called, telescopic, the ones that like fold up, but I'm on a budget. When I get home, I'll do some research, see what's the cheapest, but also try not to buy a piece of garbage. And I think I will use those sticks because I still want to be active outside. I really like going walking through parks, forests, just walking. Last appointment of the day was speech therapy. We did more facial things. I sat in front of a mirror, again using the ice to activate the nerves, and her helping me. So me staring intently at the mirror, trying to do whatever it is she's telling me to do, like move my eyebrows or my nose. And at the same time, she's very gently helping me. Very gently. I need to get myself on a schedule and make sure I make time every night to do these. Because I've been working on them recently and I'm seeing improvement. Oh, two important things I forgot. When I met with the doctor today, He had me sign a paper because when they release me, they're going to release me as unable to work. Just having that conversation makes me feel kind of shitty. But everybody does keep confirming with me, like, the size of this tumor that I had and all of the stuff it destroyed and wrapped itself around. Everybody's reassured me that this makes complete sense. It's completely normal, but I am still having issues. Everything from the little things like the nerves in my face. These are nerves that heal very slowly. But also in reference to like the weird head pains and headaches and head fullness and dizziness that I have. They just keep repeating, it was a big tumor, it was a serious operation, and these things sometimes take time to heal from. And like when conversations come up with doctors, and I mean, I realize it myself, I realize what shape I'm in. Like no matter how much I try to deny it, it reminds me because I have to sit down or I feel like I'm gonna fall down. I hear all of this and it makes me a little nervous, like about my future. But I guess I got time to figure that out. I'd say let's meet up again and see how Friday goes. I think I should have art therapy tomorrow. I like that. And this is the schedule for Friday. I began my day with art therapy. Finished my painting, posted it on Call Me Armstrong on Instagram if you want to see it. And then I had a class called Mundmotorik. The very nice gentleman that ran this class went through a story. I believe it was a birthday story. And as the story went on and you had reactions, like you were happy to see the guests, then we all had to work on our smile. We went through the various exercises you've seen on these cards I've been showing you with the faces. For some reason, Frau Armstrong was spoken to directly and brought up a couple times as an example in this class. But interesting was the conversation about how some doctors will give up on these nerves ever coming back after 3 months. Some will give up after 6 months. And I piped up and said, hey, this week is the first time in 3 years I have seen a big difference in this area, for example. And I'm seeing spots in a few other places where like wrinkles are coming back and I like it. But all in all, I am learning a lot of really useful things. These therapists are top of the line and seem like really nice humans, which I appreciate. Last appointment of the day, speech therapy. This gentleman as well had some very useful conversations about the nerves and the muscles and things I've been doing wrong, like straining myself too much to try to make this stuff work. And he went over the dead part of my face again with the massager and some ice. And again, I faced a mirror and he would help me, for example, raise my eyebrows very gently. I am going to make a video soon talking all about facial paralysis, what I've learned about it, what mistakes I've made, and share some of the stuff I've learned. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, so that was my Friday. I think in the immortal words of Ice Cube, today was a good day. So, brought you back into the forest to sum up week 2. If I had to sum up this week in 3 words, I would say thankful, corrected, and motivated. I am incredibly thankful for what I would call priceless therapy. I'm just saying some of the things that I have learned and the therapy I've received are just unbelievable and such a gift to me. And I'm really glad I got some correction on things I was doing wrong, like walking with my head down instead of having my shoulders back and my head up. I plan to work on this a lot, already have been, and I think there's a possibility of improvement. Still feels like I'm kind of flopping my feet and walking more drunk, but I can already feel my body adjusting. So thankful I was corrected on what I was doing wrong in the way of my facial exercises. I know I've mentioned it in other videos that ever since I had this operation 3 years ago, I haven't been happy with what my neck looks like. And I'm realizing it's because I'm really straining trying to lift what feels really heavy on this side, trying to move it. And I'm so thankful I was corrected that that's wrong. And I'm practicing more on trying to relax here and just move what I'm trying to move. Eyes, nose, mouth. I still got a lot to work on, but I already see improvement. So I'm going to say it's possible I could have more improvement. You know, what I think is really important is that I feel really motivated now. I feel motivated that when I go home, I will make myself a solid plan, a routine of a mixture of a healthy diet, eating 3 times a day, making sure I make time for myself to go out, do a walk, breathe fresh air, and just enjoy nature for the sake of relaxation and my health and to keep my body strong. And I'm motivated to continue to work on my balance issues. I was starting to lose hope, but I do feel how when my body is strong, at the very least, I can kind of keep myself straight. Now I just have to master doing this with my head straight up and without looking too stiff. I'm trying to think of this German saying, something like, der Hoffnung stirbt zuletzt, hope dies last, something like that. And I got, like, hope that I can learn to work with these issues, these disabilities I got. But something important I learned from one of my Patreons, and also from overdoing it here, is that I have to take time for myself. I have to take time and just accept that some days are just shit days, and let myself have that. Because I think in the past 3 years, I've had a lot of just feeling worthless or even guilt when I have those days where I just lay around, stay in bed. I know that's not the right way to think, but I'm being honest with you folks. That happens. You get demotivated when you feel like your body is just but yeah, I got hope that maybe I can make my body not feel so much so often, but at the same time work on, even when I do feel, not to be so hard on myself. I have to not go hard. This is really a tricky lesson for me to learn. I've always been go, go, go. And everything from the balance to working on my facial muscles, vertigo, head pains. I'm learning my life now is about really taking time sometimes. Taking time to concentrate and get it right. And I'm going to try to do that. I really, once again, cannot loud enough and often enough say how thankful I am to be in Germany and receive the treatment and the health care that one receives here. Again, it's not perfect. Nothing and nobody is. I've said that before. Damn, I really wish the people I love where I'm from, back in America, I wish they could get this. I keep thinking of people I knew that were really sick, or people I know that are sick, and how they're going into debt and just trying to come up with money to just get their medication. Forget all this fancy pants therapy that I'm getting. I'm telling you, this what I'm getting here, for me, is something only rich people get where I'm from. It really makes me wonder how I got so lucky or why. Regardless, that sums up my second week here. I got one more week to go. And yes, I hear all of you telling me to rethink and stay that extra week. I hear you. I've read all of your comments. But unfortunately, and I mean that, unfortunately, I stand by saying no way in hell. It is unfortunate, I repeat, because the treatments that I'm getting and these therapists are just exactly what I needed for the last 3 years. Like, I really needed this, and I wish I could get treatment from these therapists every day until I feel 100%, or as close to that as I'm gonna get. However, simply put, not trying to cause any drama, just as I put it to the doctor, I am seriously shocked at what I see here in regards to what I perceive as absolute lack of concern for the current situation in the world today, including things like social distancing and masks. I do not wish to slander anybody. I expressed my opinions. I filed a complaint. I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Wouldn't surprise me if I was the only one that opened my mouth. I've had that a lot in my life. And when it comes to my health, and watching what I think could possibly be a danger to other people's health, I have to go with my gut instinct. And you're really just going to have to trust me on this. Quite honestly, you have no choice. Anybody that knows me will tell you Armstrong's going to do what Armstrong wants to do. But I do appreciate your kind words and suggestions and thoughts in the comments. I do. Thank you. I got a day all to myself tomorrow. I have nothing on my schedule. I plan on doing a lot of relaxing. Maybe just going and laying in a field or sitting in a forest for a few hours with a book. And at the very latest, I'll be coming back at you next week with next week's report. Next week, I should finally get some testing on my memory and concentration. I'm very curious about this. You can make sure you're subscribed and ring the bell to get a notification for when that video is uploaded. I suspect it'll be Friday or Saturday. Until we meet again, make sure that you take care of yourself.